That's Maxine Waters, isn't it? That crack Maxine Waters. Oh, she sounds just like the Wicked Witch of the West. I swear, man. Doesn't she? I mean, was that just me that thought that, or was? I mean, I feel like she sounds like the Wicked Witch of the West. I'll get you, my pretty, and your little dog too. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
I have to can I rejoin?
Yeah, you can rejoin it.
I have to rejoin.
Okay, rejoin. Hey, Robert, did you get your car fixed?
Yeah.
Sweet.
What's that?
What's up, basic brah?
What?
There was a guy that one of my D-libers was on there. One of the things I did want to do on this is I wanted to see if where's my restream at? Okay, I wanted to go to my chat function.
Man.
Open in browser.
I don't understand. Like audio's still coming through my little thing here, even though I changed it.
I wonder if people. I'm going to put this in the chat. I wonder if I'm going to put this in the chat for everyone. If this will work, if people can go there. I put my restream chat up so everyone. Hey Tina, my wife is watching. She said hi, honey. That's sweet. She hardly ever watches my streams. Anyways, I want to see if can you guys go. I just put that up in this chat. Can you guys go and see if you can open that browser up, that restream chat browser? Because if so, we should send everybody over there to chat because then they can chat with the D-Live people and the Facebook or whoever, you know what I mean? It takes all of my Periscope, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, and D-Live, and it's all of their chats combined. So can one of you guys open it and tell me if that works?
Well, I opened it and I tried to type something and it's not showing up.
It did open. Did you see the other stuff in there? You might have to give it a second.
No, but it might be because I'm signed in the restream. Yeah, it's not gonna. It's just a
I can
generic.
just do this. I'm sorry. I'm working. I think I may have figured something out.
You sound like Satan, dude, just so you know.
Is that Dronetek?
Did you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear
hear me?
you. You sound like Satan, though.
You sound like
Really?
you've had some duster.
Yeah, you sound like you're like, my name is Beelzebub. Doesn't do it automatically anymore. Basic Bra said, Restream bot doesn't do it automatically. I know, I took the whatchamacallit, thingamajigger,
How about now?
yeah, you sound normal now.
Yeah, you sound better now.
Okay, thank you. Sorry.
You're welcome. I'm glad we could be of service.
I kind of liked it the first way.
I know. Kind of creepy in a cool way. Okay. And then it should show up as a bot on each platform chat to post chats to all to see across platforms.
It was just showing up as my restream.
Okay. Normal American. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Yours came in there, dude. Do you see it now? Follow me. I'm okay.
Yeah, but that's just because I put it on YouTube.
Oh.
When I try to
yeah,
chat in the
yeah.
restream, it's literally going to my restream channel.
Just watched Next News Network with Corey Feldman on the pedo and evil of Pedowood. Just came over from Red Dice. Well, nice to have you, Basic Bra. Mark's there, so yeah, we got a few in there and there. Just working out the. Are you all good, Dronetek too? By the way. Oh, I left my rum.
Looks like he jumped out.
I left my rum. I left my rum in the ram. I left my rum in the house. Damn it. I might
I'm
need.
way ahead of you. So.
I know, dude. I might have to run back in and get that because I think I might need a little drink ski.
You want me to keep people entertained while you're gone?
Yeah, you can keep talking.
Okay.
I mean, we have my little my
Hold on.
promo.
Hey everyone. Sorry I look a little blue. I got
Nobody
this new
sees
lights.
you yet. They can't see you yet.
Oh, okay. Well,
That's better.
when I come on, I got a new lighting setup, and when I go through OBS, I can use my light filter. But for some reason, it's not working on Zoom here, so
I'd like
you
to
get to see a really pale-looking Rob. Also, before I came on
Tina
here,
says she's not bringing it to me.
yeah,
Okay,
don't worry.
I can stream everywhere now.
How'd you do that?
What do you mean?
Nothing. I just put my own little camera thing over top of where I'm at on the thing, and
Okay, well, turn your camera back on because all we see is Ryan Stoots.
that's right. You guys don't see.
Shoot, you just broadcasted your. Oh, damn it! I'll have to cut that out later, bro. You just broadcasted your first and last name to the world. No, you didn't. I did.
What?
Accidentally.
Who did? That was a pseudonym, right?
Actually, I did like a dumb shit because he wasn't even live yet. I'll cut it out later. Sorry about that, Ryan.
Yeah, I guess I could just live stream the audio. I couldn't figure out how to get OBS to play Zoom.
Okay, Ryan, or Drone
Yeah.
Tech Talk.
Yeah,
Okay.
you're hard to hear over the music. I can barely hear you guys.
Okay, but I'm seeing just a small of you and then another shot of me.
Right. That's the only way I'll be able to do this, really.
Oh, okay, that's fine. So when you want to talk, it's going to be like that. Okay, that makes me. Okay, that's fine. That'll work.
I mean,
No, that'll be fine. You'll just see me twice when we do it. However you want to do it, bruh. Yeah, that's fine. That's
I can
fine.
just do it regular, probably.
Okay, well. All right.
Like when I'm talking, I can do it like this, and then go back or something. I don't know.
I didn't even get a chance to get all my memes ready. Damn it. It's just, this whole live day running a shit like a little, even these little like wannabe shows like ours take a lot of time to. Wait a second. Is it gonna loop again? Okay, good. All right. Let's just go live real quick like. Actually, I'm gonna run in the house one more second. You guys talk to the audience. I gotta go grab that. I know I'm
Turn
gonna
down
want
the
to
music a
drink
little. We can barely hear you.
hang on. You can barely hear me, really?
Yeah, it's just a little loud. The music. That's all.
Is that better? Like that?
Yeah. That's.
Okay.
That's
I'll be
good.
right back. You guys talk over this for them. Yeah, I'll turn it down.
Yeah.
A little more.
So I am gonna look blue again. I fixed it on my when I'll be live streaming.
Blue.
Can you do I look a little blue to you?
A little blue hue, but it goes back and forth. Do you have what camera did you get? A Logitech?
Yeah.
C922? Or 20?
Yeah, that might be it. Yeah.
Yeah, mine does the exact same thing. Here's what you need to do. Open up your webcam. Go to your like webcam software. Like if you got Windows 10.
I think so, yeah.
Okay, click your little Windows icon and then just type webcam and you should see a little webcam, like Logitech webcam icon pop up.
Okay. I see camera app. Like that maybe?
You should see, well, type Logitech. Maybe that'll
Okay.
pop it up.
Oh, my
LOG,
goodness.
and that should, it should be Logitech Windows software.
Logitech capture, will that do it?
Here, look at my screen right now.
Okay.
That right there. See it?
No, 1 second. I got
Hopefully you installed that. You need it.
I probably did not.
Well, your problem is you've got a bunch of this auto stuff on, and it wreaks havoc. You got to turn it all off. If you click your little up arrow in the bottom right hand corner of your screen.
Oh wait. I think I maybe
you guys
am
take
on the
forever.
Logitech.
Why do you guys take so long? I'm like, well, that's why I normally go out there half an hour early so I can set all this stuff up. Okay, let's go intro.
Yeah.
Here we go. Okay. Oh, sorry.
We'll fix it next time.
I know. Well, it's because I was doing everything. I was doing so much.
Yeah, I know the problem, dude. I had the same. I just fixed it myself.
Oh, you fixed it? So now it's just you? Okay, good. All right.
Oh
cool.
yeah,
No,
that
we were
too.
t-
Yeah.
All right. Oh, man. How's everybody doing? I will bring this over to discussion view. Is that one gonna? That might go meme time with Steven if I do that one like that. Discuss. Oh no, that's wrong. Okay. That was the end of it. We're not doing meme time yet. I should have clicked that over, but I didn't. Doesn't matter. Anyways, Ryan, say hello.
Hey, how you doing, everyone?
And Robert, say hello.
Hello.
Talk
I'm
long.
not showing up, I don't think.
You
But-
gotta
there
talk.
I am.
You got to talk longer. That's the only time I'm ever going to tell you. You have to talk longer because it,
Yeah.
it wasn't picking it up.
Well,
You look like you're in the movie Payback, dude.
Good. It was a good movie.
Have you ever seen that?
Mel
How it's
Gibson.
like it's very blue.
So, how are you guys doing this fine Saturday? We talking to my group, not my guys, because I know they're always doing fine. Thank you, everybody, for hanging out. We are going to probably do it for about an hour because apparently Robert has family things he has to do. And so we're not as important for him to stick around with us long enough.
That's true. I have a good family.
But yeah, so we are gonna. You guys have a couple things that I think we were gonna start. We want to talk a little bit about what happened on the campus. I'm gonna let Dronetek start with that, and then I'm gonna hand that to Robert to do some talking on that. And then I also wanted to talk a little bit about. Hand it off to Robert and have him talk a little bit about the Logan Act and what's going on with Kerry and another senator. I forget his name. What's his name?
Murphy. Yeah.
Murphy, Senator Murphy. Where, again, the left doesn't see the plank in their own eye, but they love to poke the speck out in everybody else's, if you know what I mean. So we're going to talk about that. And then in between while we're doing that, we're going to throw a couple memes up and have a good time laughing at some memes. But I will say, I normally go through and pick all my memes out ahead of time, some really great ones. And I didn't get a chance to lock them up, so we're just going to do a free flow on the meme. And I had all my awesome Discordians put in a bunch of cool memes, and so we'll probably use some of those and whatnot. So anyways, I'm going to hand it off to Dronetek for a second because he did a video. And do you have that video, my friend, handy, by the way? Or
yeah.
You should, can you no, I'll go to your channel. You talk about it right now, and then I'll cue it up.
Okay.
And then I'll cue it up.
All right.
So go ahead. Take it off.
Well, so probably everybody by now has heard of over at the University of Virginia. They have these multicultural spaces apparently, and a video came out recently showing a student who is also, I guess, faculty in some capacity, stood up and actually told all the white students in the room, and she did it in a very, very condescending, arrogant way, which I've also heard described as polite, which is funny. But she tells the politely racist. She tells all the white students that they're making the amount of white students in the classroom is making the people of color uncomfortable, and that they should leave because it's not a room for them and all this. Well, of course, the room is for them. It's multicultural, which includes white people. I mean, means many cultures. And if you're inclusive, I would assume that would include white people. But Young American Foundation actually went over to the campus and did some interviews with students. And I don't know how many of you have seen it yet. I put out a little video about it the other day, so go over and check that out if you want. But
yeah, let's do it right now. Actually, let's let's click over to that segment here.
It's pretty shocking.
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, I mean, I think the reason is, Dronetek, is that white people can't be racist. I don't know, or I mean, that
you can't be.
Black people can't be racist. Is that what it is? I mean, yeah, it's only whites that can be racist. So this isn't racist for them to do this. So we're going to watch a little bit of Ryan's video here. I don't know if we have to watch the whole thing, but make sure you guys can hear it.
As a white person, I don't want to say that I should be allowed anywhere. As a white person, I don't want to say that I should be allowed anywhere. And I think it should be up to those organizations to decide.
I'm sure that by now everybody has seen this video from the University of Virginia showing a student.
You can kind of skip ahead and show some of the other interview portions if you want, but
yeah, like right here.
You got to skip up a little bit more. I flapped my gums a little long there.
Okay,
you're good at it though.
You are good at it. You're good at and everyone needs to go over and watch Dronetek Politics. Maybe it's right here where there you go. Skip up to right here. Okay. You guys need to go over and watch this stuff though. It's great. But here is the insanity of this cultural Marxist intersectionality, white privilege gone amok. In brainwash, it's literally brain damaging and brainwashing that now these white kids think that they're virtuous because they say I hate myself because I'm white, and and they whip themselves on the back. And these black people literally think that they can now tell white people that they have no place speaking or even being because of their immutable characteristic of their skin color. It's absolutely insanity.
Nice shirt, by the way.
What are your
Thank
thoughts
you.
on it?
It was interesting because you could kind of take it two ways. I understand as like a person of color, like why that space is there in the first place.
Pretty much fine. Like if that space
You
is
don't.
for them,
You
I think
don't
it's kind of
understand.
agree, like that. As like a white person, I guess just.
Hang time out a second. You're not white. You're ginger. So there's a difference there. You also don't count because you're ginger. So
I just love how they talk about. I love how he talks about himself like as a white person, like he somehow there's something wrong with him, and there's something other about him, and it's just odd.
It's just this. It's literally brain. I mean, I almost want to call it.
It is brainwashing. It's indoctrination.
It is, and it's like it's going to cause brain damage. That you think this. That you think just because you're white, you can't. You're a bad guy.
We have more areas where you can feel comfortable. And if they don't feel comfortable in those other areas, that it's nice for them to have a space where they do feel comfortable.
Be mindful that it is a space where students of color go to be comfortable and to feel safe and supported. And when there's white students that are in there doing something that could be perceived as disrespectful, I mean, you have to understand that could be hurtful.
So what are they doing that could be perceived as disrespectful? Just being white? Just like
existing? Apparently.
That's what. Where's Robert at, man? I mean, I thought.
Oh, I'm here. I got plenty to say.
Well, get after it, dude.
Oh, I do too. So after Robert.
Okay, go ahead, Robert.
I dealt with this all the time in the debate community. First off, the idea of safe spaces being beneficial, even if you want to erase everything else, is nonsense. Every study shows that this makes things more harmful. What a safe space does is encourages you to never encounter like diverse opinions or thought that could actually counter your beliefs. The universities were set up as an antithesis of this. So the idea that somehow they need a space to not be challenged is ridiculous and proves that it's not about education, it's about indoctrination. Furthermore, I'll just say this because I could talk all day on it. Isn't it ironic that the most progressive of us, the biggest social justice, supposedly the biggest leftists among us, agree with the KKK? This was the KKK's argument. This was the Democrats' argument when they were running the KKK, that of segregation. There should be spaces for white people. There should be spaces for black people. We've come full circle where that used to be racism, and now it's racism to say segregation is bad. That's how insane this is.
My Tina Gunvalson said, absolutely brain damage, complete brainwashing. It's what makes me not want to, it's what makes me want to become a hermit and never send my child to public school. It's so true, though, dude. We have been talking about that, the craziness that is taking place in people's minds right now. You know what I mean? With this insanity of this intersectionality and this, postmodern craziness. It's insanity. It's crazy. Let's play a little more of this. Oh, go ahead, though. Say something before we do.
No, I just, and I said this in my video, but, I really, when I was in high school, I was a real big left-winger, very, self-hating, white person. I kind of saw other white people as bad. And I came out of that during college due to several things, but looking back, it's like, what made me like that? Something made me like that. And you start to realize that it's really, they teach history in a very myopic way, with no nuance. And they teach about racism in the same way. It's a white problem. And you can see how that will fester over time and just basically give people a justification for their hate. And that's what you got now.
Yeah.
You heard that right. This white student feels that it's okay to discriminate against whites and to dictate where they can and can't go based on nothing but their skin color. Plus, these students seem more than willing to let racists who hate them make these decisions. What in the hell are these idiots saying exactly? That it's normal for people of color to feel uncomfortable around whites? How about the other way around? What if white students wanted a special space so that they didn't have to feel uncomfortable around black and brown people? Of course, rightfully, this idea would be shouted down by these same ignorant fools.
Can you even imagine, just even with the whole even like the whole this is an old thing, but the Black Entertainment Television, BET. Can you imagine if there was a white entertainment television? And their response to that is, well, all of the networks are white entertainment television.
That's not true.
That's why we need a special black entertainment television. But it's just like you said there. If you flipped the tables and said, like what Robert was just saying, and that's what we did. We did that back in the the Jim Crow days and everything. We actually had that, and look how people lost their shit. Oh man, Robert, go ahead.
Yeah. I mean, it's really, it is about self-loathing, and it's about the cultural Marxism. Look, I say this all the time when it comes to the Republicans. The Republicans are focused on winning the next election. These establishment Democrats were focused on controlling the country forever. So they use Saul Alinsky tactics to say, it's not just about politics, it's about culture. Andrew Breitbart used to say that politics is downstream of culture. And what he meant by that is if you can infiltrate things that influence culture, like education, like the entertainment industry, then you could basically indoctrinate and brainwash people to believe the most self-loathing things in order to give these powerful establishment people power over you. And this is the most blatant example we see of it.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you take it like, okay, let's give the most generous perspective we can to this. And let's say, oh, okay, well, it's rare to see people that look like you if you're black on campus, because maybe some universities, black students might make up 10% or less, etc. If they're in the minority, they need a space for being in the minority. But we know that it's almost 2-to-1 that women are the bigger group in universities than men. So does that mean we should have men only spaces? Well, no, we've had those like fraternities that were even off campus, and you see them being attacked. In fact, they put Title IX in to say, oh, no, you can't have like men only activities and things like that. That's how it's been interpreted. So we can see kind of the insanity, how it's not even about being a minority. Because technically men are minorities at most universities.
Right.
Well, that doesn't matter to them. So
that's because we're the patriarchy.
They're saying white men. Now, I don't care. As someone who's a white man, that's the least interesting thing about me. I don't care about that stuff. But the fact that you could be discriminated for that, it's absolute nonsense.
Hey, can I just interject one thing there? Yeah. You said, like, I don't care about that stuff. I'm the same way, man. And doesn't it bug you that we're forced into this ridiculous shit? Like, I hate it because I've always grown up, I don't care what your skin color is. I don't judge people on such surface level things, and yet we're pulled into this crap, and then we get cast as like right-wing Nazis when we're the furthest thing from that. It's
we are
aggravating.
The thing is that it's literally the people more on the the right-leaning group, and I don't want to just say all the Republicans. It's really more because, I mean, you think about like even the Tim Pools of the world, or some of these people that are more like just moderate, if you will, when it comes to I don't even know how to explain that. It's because if anything left of this crazy Marxist, absolute asinine ideology and brainwashing, anything to the right of that is you are one of the ists and the isms, and you're in the bigot category. I mean that's why like Tim Pool of all people is considered alt-right. You know what I mean? Even though
it's insane.
It's completely effing insane that go ahead.
Yeah. Well, take the idea of affirmative action, right? Like, I don't think that, look, I'm against a lot of the taxation and stuff that we have, but I'm not predisposed to being against the idea of trying to give underprivileged people a leg up. But why wouldn't affirmative action then be based on income levels of your family as opposed to race? I think we could all agree with that. But think of the idea behind affirmative action, in that you want to take these people that didn't have a chance to be privileged and then put them in these universities. And the idea is give them a equal ground as much as possible with, quote, the privileged people that are already there. So even in that world, if you're looking at it like that, why the hell would you then go the next step to say, oh, but you can't fit in with them. You have to have your own space. You're different than them. You'll never be like them. And to do it along racial lines is even more repugnant. We can all see it. But even if you buy into their crap, if you take their argument as generously as possible, it still doesn't make sense. Why would you be telling? It's not good for the white people, obviously, but it's not good for the black people either, because you're basically telling them you will never fit in with this group. You will never be someone that can succeed on your own merits. So you need your special little safe space. And that's offensive to black people as well, because you're treating them like children. You would never do that to white people. You would never go to a historically black university that decided to leave white people in and say, oh, we need white only spaces. You'd say, no, the white people could handle it. They could deal with it, or they'll go to a different university. But once more, we have to infantilize black people.
I know. It's really a soft bigotry. It truly is. It's a soft form of racist and babying black people and people of color, that it's like they can't handle it. They've had such a hard time in our history that we need to handle them with kid gloves and walk on eggshells around them. And I don't understand. And it's just this constant indoctrination of victimhood, right? That is just. But what I don't seem to understand is how they can't see that. I mean, and I know there is a large portion of the black community that's waking up to this bullshit, right? And leaving this, and even if they're not coming full right to the conservative, this paradigm that we live in, right? The right and the left and all this crap, but they're waking up to the nonsense behind this, keeping them on the plantation. It's really, they're just keeping them their N-words is what they're doing, and I have to, I could actually, because we know I'm not saying that, derogatorily, since we're on YouTube, I can't say it because it'll get taken down. That's why, perfect segue, everybody needs to follow on D Live, because D Live, I would have just dropped that word, just how it is, because, just to explain the insanity of this, but we can't because we're on YouTube and YouTube sucks. So everyone also follow all of us at D Live. Mine is SJG Perspective. You can find Robert Noerr. And then, Noerr. And then you can also find Dronetek on there too. So you guys need to all find or all go and check them out. So anyways, let's listen to this turd liquor, what he has to say.
Need to be aware of the fact that it's not a space for them, and make sure that when they're entering their space or that space, they're not taking up the space for other people of color that want to use it.
This is a multicultural space and it doesn't look multicultural, then the multicultural people at UVA feel less comfortable here.
I can't.
Oh my God,
that's so
pussies. They're such pussies.
It's so idiotic what they're saying too. I mean, to me it just sounds like old school Klansman racism. They're talking about white people like they're aliens or something. It's so crazy. They're not multicultural. What are you talking about?
Yeah. So wait a minute. So they're not multicultural. Isn't white part of the multicultural? Isn't that part of the culture?
Not only that. Right, not only that, but whites come from a wide variety of places, so it's a lot of different cultures.
Yeah,
it's just stupid. I also want to point out. Oh, go ahead. You can go ahead and play her real quick.
UVA's statement was ridiculous, and that it's a multicultural student space, and that white people need to be aware of the spaces that they occupy on grounds, and that we need to all be aware of
two things I want to.
The kind of, the way that we occupy spaces around everything, and I think that she had a good point, and she wasn't aggressive. She was very clear and concise with what she said, and she had a good point.
It's very hard for people to have a space where they feel safe, and the MSC.
So what do they feel unsafe about in the presence of a white person? We're not wearing hats, and we're not wearing carrying tiki torches and wearing white hoods. Right. And burning crosses or whatnot. How do you not feel safe? And for the professors and for the teachers that have programmed, they are causing this kind of a crazy ass division in America to where it's gonna start culminating in serious race conflicts or race wars starting to happen. And they're the ones causing it, not the white people for being fucking white. It's insanity. Were you gonna say something?
Yeah. No, so there's a few things like that girl, the way she talked about white people being places. She said white people occupy spaces.
Yeah.
And that to me, it sounds like almost people. Right. But they're just being there. We occupy as if we're they talk about white people now like we're all colonizers just by existing in a spot. We're occupying it. Excuse me. Almost like we invaded, in Iraq and we're occupying Fallujah. It's loaded language, first of all. And I think that a lot of these students feel like they have to say this stuff. Sure. They may think something else, but they have to say this to not be tarred and feathered as a witch. It's almost like the Salem witch trials.
You could almost see in that girl's face like she was confused and didn't really know what she was saying and just was trying to remember everything that's been brainwashed into her brain.
Right. She just knows she doesn't want to say something bad about a black person. That's all.
Exactly.
Listen, and it's the same anytime you see, when you go see an Antifa rally or you see a college campus mob like the one that was surrounding Caitlin Bennett at Ohio University this week.
God.
They just repeat slogans. They don't think for themselves. It is literally like indoctrination. Like you read 1984. This is how you brainwash someone. You just beat these phrases into their head. And so they're not giving you their honest opinion. They're just, this is what I'm supposed to say. The teacher says 2 + 2 equals what? You say 4. Someone says, what do you think about diversity? White people are bad. That's what you're taught to say. And it's really, it's tragic. This is why I say defund the universities. I think we should get it trending. Now I'm not saying every university, but any university that allows things like this, racial spaces, any university that allows a mob to chase people of a certain political ideology out, each of those universities should never receive a dime from me or yours tax dollars. Why should we fund people that are preaching hatred of us based on our skin color? I mean, that's absurd. You would never do it the other way.
No.
If there was a university saying, no, we think black people are occupying too much space.
Right. And there's a bunch of stuff that keeps coming up missing. And
right. And doesn't that make you wonder? Doesn't that make you wonder, just like on an intellectual level?
Owen Benjamin would say.
Yeah.
Oh, that's going to get our stream taken down. Go ahead.
No, I mean, like that just makes me wonder about people in general. Like, how many people out there actually are thinking like at all about these things? Like, it just seems like people take positions based on either emotion or how taking that position will affect them socially or something. I don't know. It's weird. It's like racism to me, it's clearly wrong because I treat people like I want to be treated. And so I would never treat somebody like that. But other people, it's almost like they do have like racist beliefs, but I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like they don't really on a principled level, they don't get it.
Everybody is racist to some degree, or discerning, maybe you can call it, or you have that. I mean, every single when you judge, it's discernment, it's judgment, it's you do that when you meet somebody, you size them up, you judge them, and yes, I'm sure that there is a bit of a. Well, I don't think that's even true, that like when you meet like a black person or a brown person, you judge them differently. You're judging them immediately and making judgments about them, and making judgments about somebody is called a evolutionary, response, if you will. It keeps you safe. It keeps you aware of your surroundings, who you're letting into your personal space and your bubble. So I don't think that's wrong in any way, shape, or form. I don't care what color you are. If you're a stranger and I'm meeting you for the first few minutes or whatever, I'm sizing you up, and I am judging you. I am judging you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's true. Stereotypes exist. I remember my first class I ever took at university. I had a comm class, and the professor asked, "Who here will admit to using stereotypes?" And I was the only one who raised my hand. And then I had to argue for 30 minutes, which I'm a good arguer, so I did just fine. But I talked about some of the same things. Imagine that you're a caveman and you see a saber-toothed tiger. Well, I'm not going to make a judgment. I'm going to feel this out. Like, the key is, though, that you don't allow your initial stereotype to influence once you get greater knowledge. We're all, as humans, operating off knowledge systems that we currently have. So if I see someone who's incredibly tall and muscular, I might say, "Hey, heck of an athlete," right? And then I talk to them. They're like, "Actually, I'm terrible at athletics. I'm a computer scientist." Well, now I revamp my knowledge. I don't continue to engage in a stereotype that says, "Nah, you must not be a computer," right? That would be nonsense. So there's no problems with that, with the idea of initially having a stereotype.
Yeah.
It's inevitable because we label and categorize things as humans. Yeah. But with this situation in particular, the other thing that is to say, look, this is the danger of sort of, I don't know how to term this, but I'll call it positive racism. The idea that it's like, oh, black people need a hand. Oh, black people this, people of color that. Oh, they're great people. Oh, they're right. Like when you have that focus, which seems to differentiate us based on race, but it's in a positive sense, you're only a small step away from saying, oh, and white people are bad. They're occupiers.
Right.
Right. And it's the same crap that I see it, and I argue with it on the right as well. When people want to play identity politics on the right and they want to say, well, we need, there needs to be a country for white people and blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not going to play that identity politics game on the left or the right. I'm not going to play it with people of color or with white people.
Yeah.
I'll defend when I see that it's being used egregiously on either side, but that doesn't mean my offense at this faculty member's statement, that doesn't mean that I'm saying woe is me as a white person.
Right.
I'm saying woe is us as a country, woe is us as a university,
right.
that we put up these bigoted stereotypes that should have been done 50, 60 years ago.
Such obvious shit. It's like so obvious. It's like, what are you thinking?
But it's because it's all designed, dude. They're wanting to do that and bring that back because they want this division. And when did all this division start to boil back to the surface? When it was starting to die down and it seemed like we weren't pulling the race card all the time?
Yeah.
When did it happen? About 2008. What happened in about 2008?
Yeah.
Oh, that's right. We had our first black president. And then all of a sudden, racism starts exploding back onto the scene, and it's alive and well,
It's an industry. I mean, there's people that make their lives on it, and It's Rush Limbaugh used to always talk about that, how it will never end because they'll never allow it to. Like they just won't let it. There's too much money in it, too much power, too much control over people.
What would the left media and the liberal media and the mainstream media have to do if they couldn't play the race card right now? Think about how much viewership and how much content they would lose right off of the get-go because of what their go-to. Let's listen to, we've been talking about the reaction from the students after hearing this chick speak. Let's listen to what this chick had to say that spurred all these things. We kind of did it in reverse. But anyways, here's what she said.
Service announcement. Excuse me. If y'all didn't
Excuse
know,
me, black woman talking here. You need to listen. Excuse me. It's so annoying. I'm sorry.
Y'all white people need to know your place.
And you know what? Here is my stereotype that's spot the frick on, dude, is that there is this attitude within so many of these black women, chip on their shoulder, dude, that is just so annoying. And they they act like, oh, you just don't like me because I'm a strong black woman. No, I don't like you because you're annoying and you have a chip on your shoulder and you're a bitch to listen to. That's why I don't like listening to you. It has nothing to do with your skin color. It has to do with your demeanor and what's coming out of your mouth. That's what I don't like. And that's not a racist comment. That's just being a good person or being a lack thereof. So let's listen to her.
And frankly, there's just too many white people in here, and this is a space for people of color. So just be really cognizant of the space that you're taking up.
White people are people of color.
Make some of us POCs uncomfortable with
POCs or POSs?
She actually said POCs.
Yeah, did she say POC or POS? Because I'm going to go with POS on this one. POS, actually. Not POC. You are a POS.
Too many white people in here. It's only been open for 4 days. And frankly, there's the whole university for a lot of y'all to be at. And there's very few spaces for us. So keep that in mind.
She can't be?
Thank you.
What is she talking about? She could be anywhere in the university.
Jeez.
It's nonsense. I wanted to read you this quote, if you don't mind, from Booker T. Washington. Sorry. Booker T. Washington was a great black leader. He fought against Jim Crow. He fought for the personal responsibility and freedom of black people. He was born in 1856. Here's a quote from him. Quote, there is another class of colored people who make a business of keeping the troubles, the wrongs, and the hardships of the Negro race before the public. Having learned that they are able to make a living out of their troubles, they have grown into the settled habit of advertising their wrongs, partly because they want sympathy and partly because it pays. Some of these people do not want the Negro to lose his grievances because they don't want to lose their jobs. That's Booker T. Washington writing in the 1800s. That's exactly what we see today. Only it's not black people. Like, I don't use the terms that he was using. Those are outdated. But when he's talking about black people, most of the racial grievance people, sure, you got your Jesse Jacksons and your Al Sharptons and ladies like this lady, but most of them are wealthy white people. That's the irony.
Yeah.
The wealthy, the liberal white wealthy person who's part of the 1%, they realize that grievance is the most important currency. Victimhood is the most important currency. So they've actually horned in, and now you have people like Bernie Sanders or Elizabeth Warren running for president. Every single issue is about race. Mm-hmm. Climate change, it's about race. Immigration, it's about race. Healthcare, it's about race. It all. Have you noticed that they're always horning in on this victimhood?
I like how you're saying horning.
Washington called it.
I like how you're saying horning in.
Right. But Booker T. Washington was on this in the 1800s. You know, he knew that that's the truth. There are large swaths of these grievance industry people that don't want to see black people get better, that don't want to see minorities do better, because the worse they do, the more money they can make off it. That's Al Sharpton. That's these people on campuses.
Yes.
Yeah. Can I just add one last thing before we move on?
And add
the president of
take a long
I'm sorry.
Take a long time because I'm getting
the president of UVA. I went to his Twitter. The second I heard about this, I went to his Twitter account, and he obviously had been getting bombarded, and he had put a tweet up that was pretty long. I think it was probably about the max amount, and I don't have it up right now, and he basically it was a long-winded post that said nothing. He basically said, oh, I'm going to put out an essay. Look for that. It's like, Twitter isn't a long enough form for me to say what needs to be said. It's like, all you need to say is that white students are allowed in the multicultural room and racism is bad. Like, why? Just call that out for racism. But obviously, he could not do that, and he knew it. And I read his essay, and it was a bunch of BS, basically a longer version of what he said in this tweet. Nowhere in it did he condemn racism at all. So that's a problem. I would never send my kids to UVA. God, like who would?
And that's just real quick, that's the real issue. Like, look, this girl sucks, right? But ultimately, it's one student, one faculty person. The problem is how this is sanctioned by the universities and the administrators. That's the real problem. It's the same, again, with Caitlin Bennett getting beat up at Ohio University. Right. Yes, left-wing insane student mobs on campus are a problem, and it's worth discussing. But the bigger problem is that the police on campus and that the administrators on campus look at that mob and say, yes, this mob is a good thing. It's Caitlin Bennett's fault for being there. Just like they're saying in this situation at UVA. Yes, this girl has a point. Those white people shouldn't have aggravated her. That's where you get the problem. It's not just that these racists or these bigots exist. It's that they have institutional power behind them. And by the way, the leftists have been saying this for years. Remember, they make this heinous argument. Well, you can't be racist if you're black because racism equals prejudice plus power, right? This is the crap that they try to play. Now, that's obviously garbage. If you dislike someone purely for racial reasons, you're a racist. But there is truth to the fact of your racism is more impactful if you have institutional power. And they do. The KKK doesn't have institutional power. If you say you're in the KKK, people run from you like you're the plague. Every one of us, white, black, everyone in between's like, yeah, that group's heinous. They're so ridiculous. No one takes them serious. But this type of racism, it's sanctioned. It is the prevailing orthodoxy in our establishment and in our academics. There are literally majors of grievance studies. There are majors about the problems with whiteness, the problems with the patriarchy. Go ahead and try to have a major at your university. I'm majoring in the problems of blackness. Try that. See how that flies. That won't last half a day until you have 1 million people marching. But it's okay to actually get a 4-year degree in white people bad. That exists. I mean, it's unreal.
On that real quick, and you might want to find this clip. Maybe we can play a little bit of it. I don't know. But did you see what's the guy that Ben Shapiro got into the Second Amendment debate with the British guy?
Piers Morgan.
Piers Morgan.
Yeah.
Piers Morgan, there was this guy on his channel, and the guy had basically said that, and I can't remember what it was in now, but he basically said white people have no culture, and we got to end whiteness. And Piers Morgan had a problem with this. And he's like, that's racist. That's racist. And the guy's like, oh, that's not racist. You know, we're just talking about getting rid of this. And just like you were talking about, this structure. And it's funny how they wrap their, like, literally like genocidal racism up in this package.
Yeah.
That's like, it's like intellectual, academic. And it kind of reminds me, there's if you get on YouTube, you can find it. There's a debate, Harvard debate. And it's between a team of these white guys and a team of these black guys. And the black guys, I guess, and I don't know if they're BLM members. It says they are, but I don't know about that. But they basically, the debate is over how to avert problems from climate change. And their argument is to get rid of to exterminate white people. And they say that by exterminating white people, it'll fix everything. Yeah. And then literally the white kids are arguing for the right of white people to live. And then the other guys end up winning the debate.
Right. Listen, I did debate. That's the exact style debate I did. I know you think I'm kidding here, but I'm telling you with a straight face, that was an incredibly mild debate. That debate, I don't even have a problem with that debate when you think about it, because debate should be, you're playing a game. You're hypothetically playing. Like if me and you're playing chess, I'm not literally suggesting killing a queen. I'm taking your queen. It's a game. That's what debate's supposed to be. It's ideas, right? It's the idea. The problem is that argument you heard there. All right, now take out the hypothetical context. Now put it in the personal context.
Yeah.
I'm telling you, at least 20 rounds in my career as a debater, at the highest level of debate, debating schools like Harvard, Louisville, Towson, Fort Hayes, all these big schools, I would walk into a room and they would say, you don't have the right to live. You're white. You should forfeit this round. You're white. It wasn't a hypothetical like that round was. It was literally, you are evil because of your whiteness. And you could not, as a white person, argue to defend whiteness. It was impossible. You would lose every round. What you had to say was, no, I'm not white. Define whiteness. It was universally accepted in the debate community that whiteness is evil. Yeah. You just had to argue that you choose to reject whiteness.
That's
I'm not making this up. It's the same
I believe
with
you,
masculinity.
100%.
I know.
It's the same with the patriarchy. I'm a man, therefore I should die or I should forfeit the round to give a woman a victory. And I had to argue why I wasn't masculine. But it's just taken its default that masculinity is bad.
Right. Is it like academia has just accepted these Marxist, like far left ideas as that is it? And anybody, is that how we've gotten to where we're at? I mean, it kind of seems like it. That's how we have like two different Americas, because it's like these people and the people they churn out are living in this Marxist bubble kind of a deal, and our media is included in Hollywood. And then you got the rest of America that doesn't buy into any of that. And so it's like there's a real conflict there.
Yeah.
That's weird.
Yeah, and it would be crazy. Like, just real quick, like you would, they understand, right? And they're don't be confused. A lot of what we see, it's stupidity. But the people that are the postmodernists, the philosophers that are coming up with this crap are very smart. And they're very talented at arguing. And so you would have to like really get deep down to make this argument, because they know that they can't say you're evil how you were born. Right? So you have to choose your evilness. So then I would be like, well, then define whiteness. Right? For example, is Eminem white or black? Is Colin Powell white or black? Is Colin Powell engaged in whiteness when he's getting us into the Iraq war? Is Eminem engaged in blackness when he's talking about problems of the inner city? And they don't know how to answer this, right? So you'd be like, define whiteness, define blackness. And they would be like, well, and they would give you some him-ha answer. And basically what it came down to was wealth or power. Mm-hmm. And then I would be like, I go to Clarion University. It's one of the smallest state schools in the country. I have a sister that's 20 years younger than me. My parents can't afford to have a furnace right now. I'm working at Burger King 40 hours a week to try to help my parents. I haven't paid my rent in 3 months. They shut my electric off in my house. The only beer I can afford is Keystone Ice, for God's sakes. Like, you just talk about how poor I am. And I'm like, now, you go to the University of Louisville? Yeah. Did you get a scholarship? Yeah, I got a full ride. Do you have a car? Yeah, I drive a Jaguar. And you know what I mean? And I'm like, okay, so what makes me more white than you again? And they would still find a reason that my mere existence is somehow something to apologize for.
Yeah.
That's racist. Like, there is it doesn't matter how articulate you are, how many fancy words you can use. That's bullshit. Like, I would never have the balls in my entire life, even before when I was just a teenager and wasn't thinking about any of this, to look at someone of a different color and say, you were born with more sin than me, or you were born inferior to me because of your color. You have something to apologize for because of your color. And the fact that it takes putting people through, quote, what do they always say about us Trump supporters? We're less educated. It takes putting people through the education system and brainwashing them before they can believe this shit.
Yeah.
That's what's and we're paying for this. Our tax dollars paying for this.
It's messed up.
It is. All right, let's read a couple chats here before Robert has a stroke. So it says,
I love it.
Mark, I love everything you said, Robert. It's spot on. Mark B, I'm not going too far up, but I'm just Mark said, divided we fall. That is what the Democrats and globalists want in this country. Absolutely. They want us divided. Yeah. That is all this is about. Rational Wrongthink, which couldn't make it today, but we shout out to Rational. We love you. Said, if whites have no culture, why does everyone keep appropriating it?
Yeah.
That's a good comment. Tyler said, Michelle Obama could beat Tommy Lee in a sword fight. That's for you, Rational. That's for you. We'll have to go to a Rational song after this. And then Abandoned 187 from D-Live, which everybody who's on YouTube, you need to follow Dronetek, Robert, and myself on D-Live. D-Live is where it is at. We can say what we want. We can stream what we want. It's where it's
amazing.
At, guys. It's amazing. Please go sign up on D-Live. You get all your notifications. It's awesome. But anyways. He said, end whiteness, and this country will become a third-rate shithole, and that's a fact. And that is a fact. And that isn't being an arrogant ethno-state nothing. It's that is the fact of that we need to come together as a people and have each other's strengths and not try to block off the one race, if you will, the color of skin that really has done very much for advancement. That's a truth, guys, and that isn't being a racist pig. That's just the truth. So we need to come together and not. Anyways, Rational said, get rid of white people, and you have China, Islam, and India vying for top spot. Which of those cultures is better in the Western culture? Trust is Earned said, during segregation, blacks had their own grocery stores, clothing stores, gas stations. They had to. A lot of blacks did not watch affirmative action. It was affirmative action. It was forced on them as much. That's also kind of true. You know what? That is. Moto said the Ohio children were actually Caitlin. I don't know. I don't know what that says there. And then we have a couple other comments. That was
no, that's fine. No, I agree. By the way, we're probably not going to get to the other topic. That's fine. This one's more important.
So, anyways, I'll read when he leaves. I'll go back through some of these chats. I do have some memes that I wanted to do, which are really amazing. So let's do a little. This is good. She's like, I'm really sorry. I'm glad we only have 35 people. If we would have like, that's whatever. That's still good.
We got a pretty good audience. I like it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
and they're attractive too. I could tell.
Yeah.
Yes. Attractive people like us.
That's what's most important, man.
Just like us, yeah.
Just like us. Okay, so we'll do a little meme time, and then maybe this will spur a little conversation. I know you got to go in
drink
about
a little
10
of my
minutes.
Bud Ice Tall Cat here.
Yeah.
Hey, Dronetek, you can stick around a little after 6, right?
Yeah, I can stick around.
All right. So while you take a drink, I'm gonna take a swig.
I wish. Yeah.
Bring on Rational.
So guys, I
for
think
me at night.
he can't.
I do want to say it looks like we're doing this Saturday thing pretty much every Saturday, so I like it.
Yeah.
And so just keep coming back, and we're gonna revolve hosts. It's gonna be Robert next, and then me again, and then and we'll just keep doing that.
Yeah,
So-
I like it. Okay, so this one says, release your tax returns. Trump says, I emailed them to you. Oh, that is so.
You wiped it with a cloth. Too bad.
I love how he keeps hammering on that though, because that is something that what did happen with that story? The 33,000 emails that Hillary had and was was required to turn over to Congress. What happened to that, people? You got to ask yourself that question. But it's the Trump supporters that get off.
There's too many stories to count like that. Like I've lost count of them.
Yeah, it's insanity.
Remember, they said Trump obstructed justice because he went to a court to ask, do I have to hand over these emails?
Yeah.
If he would have just used bleach spit, the Democrats would have never impeached. They would have said, oh, that's very fair, Mr. Trump. You bleach spitted. That's reasonable. But you can't go to courts and ask if you have to hand them over.
Yeah.
It's stuff like that that makes you realize that, and other things that really make you realize we're kind of living in a tyranny here.
We are.
Right now.
We are.
Yep, agreed.
All right, this one's great, guys. You'll love this one. If we divide 125 genders by 3 bathrooms, how much climate change do we need? Do we have?
Yeah.
So, that is the logic of the left right now. That is the logic of the 8 or however many 6 opponents running for the president or candidates running for the presidency. That is what their logic in a nutshell is right there. That's what they're running on. By the way, guys, I'm starting I started a new parody song, which is you guys will like it though. It's for AOC, and now that she's back in the news, she's gonna like it, or it's gonna be good. But it goes, it's the Robert Palmer song, "Addicted to Love," and it goes. I won't sing the whole song, but it's gonna go. The lights are on, but no one's home. Her thoughts are not her own. And so then it goes through the lyrics, and then it's, you might as well face it, you're addicted to dumb. It's going to be pretty good, I think.
That'll be good. I like it.
Anyways, moving on.
Real quick,
ahead,
can I say something real quick?
Yes, you can.
Let me see. I'm going to put a video up. I promised some people, some of the people that follow you too as well, that I would get this video out there. Speaking of the transgender business.
Yeah.
So apparently what's going on is that we're ending up, the ATF is going around basically. Where's the sound coming from? Oh, here we go. I think that's the video. The ATF's going around to gun stores basically, and they're taking pictures of the new forms because the new forms include transgender categories. So you could be gender binary, for example. And so under that auspices of just changing the form, apparently they're going in, taking pictures and building some sort of registry of people that are applying for firearms.
Where's this
And
at?
so this is supposedly occurring nationwide. So that video that I just attached there, you have 2 days to go sign this petition before the ATF does this more or something like that. I can't pretend. I just saw the video. I didn't think it explained it very well.
Maybe we'll watch it. Maybe I'll pull it up later after.
Look, yeah. It's just something. But a lot of our supporters, I know people that also follow you because I've met them through you guys. Have sent this to me in Discord and said, please, you only have 2 days to get this out. So there it is.
Yeah.
You guys check it out for yourself. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Sometimes you hear this stuff.
Here's the thing. Here's my thing. It's like, I hear about stuff like that all the time, and I tend to dismiss it only because it's like, if these people do something like that, some sort of backdoor, something like that, they're only going to be digging their own graves. And I don't mean that as a threat. Okay. I just mean that,
I do.
You know,
just kidding.
well, I just, that will, if they did that, people would know what we're up. They would definitely come rise up against that.
I don't know.
So I don't think that they'll do that.
I think people are stupid. Well, I think the constitutionalists will, and the conservatives are going to. But I think other people are going to cheer it on as such a great, and they may try to backdoor it too. I don't know.
That's the issue. That's what the claim is here, that it's going to be backdoored. So it's not that the average person would know. And it's not even that they would say, okay, now we have the list, arrest them all. It's, if you cause trouble, they check this list, your name's on it, so they knock on your door and they say, we know you have 4 AR-15, so we're coming in.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Then a bunch of people start recording it.
Wow.
And it becomes a rallying cry. So let them do that, and it will be there. They will nail their own coffin.
Yeah.
I mean, that'll.
Yeah. All right, here's another one.
There it is. Yeah.
I got to sing this one out. It goes, if you want to be my lover, you got to be my brother. It's Ilhan Omar at the end. Right there.
And listen, like, all joking aside about that, like, it's repugnant to marry your brother, but you could forgive it if it was like, she did it and it was a non-sexual relationship to try to bring her brother.
Well, that's what she's saying she did. How can you forgive that?
Right. But here's the problem. It's not the marrying her brother that's the problem. It is the flagrant violation of our immigration.
Right.
Right.
And you
and
know,
being a
the
congresswoman
that,
all the same time.
That's right. And then lying about it, and then perjuring yourself more than 4 times under court documents saying that you don't know where your ex-husband is.
Yeah.
You haven't talked to him for years. Well, we have pictures that you were clearly with him from your Facebook page. Those are the type of things, like, we're not cold-hearted. And look, I'm against illegal immigration. And it's sometimes you just have to make the tough call. Even if you were coming here to flee something, our law is our law. But when you lie about it after the fact, and then you are as arrogant as she is talking about the need to enforce law, yeah, she should have the hammer brought down on her.
Yeah.
And if she helps,
no one is above the law, right?
That's right. That's exactly right.
And it's not just the immigration violation. It's also because then her taxes. There were some campaign violations that went along with this on her taxes. Right. And I'll tell you what, you say I'm not against illegal immigration, but I am against mass immigration. And for Mick Mulvaney to come out, what he said here, not to segue off of this topic too much, but you said something that triggered. For Mick Mulvaney to come out and say here a few days ago that we need more immigration because for our economy, that is the biggest shit. He's talking about the H1N1 visa, the bringing in, basically in a nutshell, importing labor, and then you're having to train the labor that's going to replace you. And the reason they want to do this is because of the Koch brothers. It goes up to the Koch brothers who want this for big corporations to get cheap labor. And what about the people then that you're displacing, American citizens who are making a nice living job wage, that now you are displacing those people because these corporate interests want to save money? I'm against that too. I think we should way etch down how many legal immigrants we allow to come in. And I don't believe that they should be able to come in on these. I think the H1N1 visa should be gone too, and we should maybe give preference to certain people to come in, but they got to go through the whole. If they're high skilled workers, they got to go through the whole process, and then you can't bring them in and replace other people. There should be some tax. They should remove those tax loopholes for these companies and corporations to be able to bring these people in and pay them less. That's bullshit to me. That's total bullshit, I think, but I don't know.
Hey, I might be able to bring on a left winger. You want me to?
Right now?
Can we bring him on?
Yeah, I don't care.
Maybe.
Oh,
it's a buddy of mine. He might want to come on.
Yeah, we're getting our big guns that's leaving right now, though.
That's okay. You guys will do just fine.
I can handle them. I argue with them all the time.
Yeah, right. And look, if his arguments that Trump's pro-Russia, it's absurd. Look exactly what they're doing with Bernie, as predicted. And real quick, before I have to go, on that nonsense, I'll be putting a video out tomorrow on the whole Russia, and now Russia's helping Bernie. Who do you think Russia wants to win more? The president of the United States now, Trump, who's boosted domestic fossil fuel production, which is the single biggest threat to Russia and their export of fossil fuels, or the people pushing the Green New Deal and criminalizing fossil fuel exports of the United States? Who do you think Putin would rather see win? Yeah. Oh, wait, every Democrat wants to end the United States fossil fuel industry? He would personally be donating to the Democrats if it was legal. I mean, it's so stupid.
Yeah.
But I do have to run.
All right.
Sorry to cut you. But yeah, I'll put a link to my D Live. You guys know where to follow me.
We'll
on
plug
YouTube.
you. We'll plug you, not in a weird way.
You. Oh, that's that video again. So
Robert, man, thanks, man. It's always a pleasure, man.
Yeah,
really.
you guys are the best. But I have some family stuff to get to. I have some people around, so I apologize. But hey, thanks everyone. See everyone in the audience. You guys are the best.
You're the best. Watch all of our viewership just drop as Robert goes away. Okay, so he's done. Talk. Can you? Yeah, there you go. Okay, perfect.
Guys, stay and listen. We're gonna have some interesting conversations here.
So to learn who rules over you, simply find out who you're not allowed to criticize. I think that's a pretty good. Meme. Not funny, but that's a very truthful, interesting meme. You know, where sorry, I got to make this smaller. You know, and that's the thing that I want. Again, wanting to push people over to D Live. I want to be able to. I'm going to start calling a spade, and I don't know enough about the subject. And I was raised, in a Christian household, so you never, say anything negative about the Jews, or you never say anything negative about the, because they're God's chosen people. And I get that, and I'm not against Jewish people. I don't want to make it sound like I'm against Jews or I'm anti-Semitic. That's not the truth. But it's interesting how they are the protected class. Do you know what I mean? Where you can't say anything against them at all. But when you really look into the deep state and you really look into the cabal and you really look into these, Federal Reserve and these national banks and these conspiracy theories, their handprints are over on everything. So why can't we talk about it and call a spade a spade? Why does that make you anti-Semitic? Because you're calling a spade or getting us involved in all these, these Middle Eastern wars. It's like that's the stuff that it pisses me off.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta say I don't know a lot about a lot of that stuff. I've never dug a real deep, very minimal on my part on that stuff. I do read a lot of conspiracy forums, so I read about some of that stuff. But I think you can talk about that and not be anti-Semitic. I mean, I personally, I'll say right now, I love, like, every Jewish person I've ever met has been awesome, and I have no problem against Jews at all. In fact, and this will sound a little self-hating actually, but I was raised Catholic and Christian, and I definitely prefer to be around Jewish people. But I don't know, man. I don't see a lot of this. I wouldn't. I'm open to any of that stuff, and I wouldn't say that to talk about it means that you're against all Jewish people. I mean, yeah.
Well, but it is. I mean, think about it. If you call them out, if you try to call out the money we're paying them and over there and that, the foreign aid we give them or the fingerprints all over the wars we've been in that they've helped get us involved in, and we call any of that out, then all of a sudden you are not liked.
Right. I mean, it is odd to me that now you can't talk about Islam. You can't criticize Islam. If you do, it's this new word they made up, Islamophobic. You're not allowed to talk anything about the Jewish religion. You can't say anything about that, because if you do, then you're an anti-Semite or a Nazi. But, and you can't talk about black people. You can't talk about these people or these people. But there is one group that you can definitely talk about and criticize. It's white people and Christians.
Yeah.
No doubt. Like those two groups, it's a free for all. Go for it.
Yeah.
But I do, and me as I'm not a Christian, I'm not a religious person. So I'm an outside person looking in. It's kind of disturbing, and it looks to me kind of like what happened to the Jewish people. And I've pointed that out many times to people.
Yeah. This is a funny one too. They've been reading it, but it goes, think about it. The same media that wanted you to believe Jussie Smollett doesn't want you to believe Attorney General William Barr. Kind of true, man. Kind of true. Which I have my questions about Barr. Don't get me wrong on that one. Hey, can you read that one?
Hey, Donald, you still have Stormy's number? Hold on. Hey, Donald, you still have... I can't really do a good Bill Clinton, I don't think.
Try it.
I can do an Arnold.
Okay.
Hey, Donald, you still have Stormy's number?
That's good. All right. Nike endorses Mike Bloomberg for president. Eric Bloomberg.
I saw that one earlier. That's great. I like that one.
I like that one. That makes me laugh. This is funny.
I saw that one too. Yeah.
Give me fuel. Give me fire. Give me a wall with razor wire. That's so great.
That's good.
Oh man, these are awesome. These are what make my day. If things are so bad, why is Obama trying to take credit?
Yeah, true. You know what? That is both funny and things are funny because they are true. But
yeah, right.
It's like I always people ask, who do you give credit for the economy, Trump or Obama? Well, just ask yourself this: if it was bad, who would they be giving credit to?
Right.
So there you go.
Exactly. Oh, this is funny. Trump, better coverage than Verizon. Can you hear us now?
Yeah.
Shout out to Demon Slayer.
That right there is why they want to get rid of the Electoral College.
Yes. I sent this out to a bunch of friends, this next one today when I was at my daughter's dance competition. And then I sent it to a couple people that are my Democrat friends. This one right here. This is great. Good morning, Democrats. Still your president. I thought that was great. All right, guys. That was just a little bit of a mean time.
The orange glow.
Little mean time with Steven.
Dude, I love your little bumper there. That's awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. I have, I need to go through and redo a few of them and whatnot so I can, get everything all up to par. But
yeah.
So did you read up too much on that Logan Act stuff? I did have a couple other stuff we could read too, but did you read much on that
Logan Act? No, I did not.
I know
you talking about what we were talking about earlier?
Yeah, what Robert? I know Robert knows a lot about that. So
I did not.
Yeah. We'll have to maybe get back to that, and when he gets back on here, I have
here. One thing I'm actually working on a video right now about. We could talk about this probably because it actually applies to the entire media and what's coming right now as we go into the election. On MSNBC, Larry O'Donnell. If any of you guys watch him, a crazy kooky guy. He's had a lot of funny moments, but he's bringing back out the whole Russian operative thing. The whole Trump is a Russian operative narrative.
But isn't it also going both ways? It's saying Bernie, but they're trying to. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, they're doing that too. That's how you know it's a tactic. It's just a tactic that it's a failed tactic that they used against Trump, and now they're going to take their failed tactic and they're using it against Bernie, which it sucks that we're like put in this position where we have to defend Bernie.
Yeah,
but. I mean, we're trying to be principled and consistent, so we do.
And I don't mind defending him because I would love to see Trump run against him. He will absolutely he'll
that too.
There'll be no. I mean, and so that even comes up to like this little article that I was gonna say we could maybe take a look at here. So Sanders wins Nevada caucus, takes national Democratic lead. I'm wondering how much that is totally freaking out the Democratic establishment.
Oh, yeah. And in fact, look, I mean, I don't have the news on right now, but I guarantee you, if you get on the news there and you start watching it in the next few days, it's gonna turn into this ridiculous anti-Bernie stuff.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny I say that because. I don't want Bernie to be president. He is a socialist. I think he's probably more than that. He's probably a communist.
Right.
So I don't want him to be president. But in the media now, you're going to see it. They're going to start calling him a communist. Watch. They're going to start outright calling him a socialist. They probably will call him a communist. And while I agree with them and they are correct, it's just funny that they've withheld it all this time, but now they'll use it because he's a threat.
Yeah.
It just shows how dishonest they are.
Exactly. It's going to be it's going to be something that they're going to have to. But who are they going to? Who? How do you think they're going to do this? Because who else on that stage could give him a run? No, I mean, no one can. It's all equal disaster for them.
Oh my God!
What do you think they do? Do you think they pull? Do you think they pull like a Michelle Obama into the race, or who do you think they're going to try to pull in a last minute?
Not
candidate?
at this point. No? I think that would be a mistake. I don't think that's going to happen. I really don't think they're going to bring Hillary into it. Bloomberg saying. Yeah, she's how many time loser now? 3-time loser, 2-time loser. Yeah. I don't think that's gonna happen.
Yeah.
Bloomberg will do something like bring in that chick from Florida, maybe, or he'll do something like that. He'll do something sleazy and pandering. I don't know, man. I really think they probably want Biden. They still want Biden, I think, which is insane. But
that would be
none of these people, like you said, none of these people has a chance against Trump. None.
That would be just golden if Biden could win it. Maxine Waters says it met Crips and Bloods in the hood with more integrity than the president.
Oh God, yes, we can talk about that. Let's talk about that.
Okay, let me.
I did see that.
Let me pull this up here. Let me pull this up. Are you kidding me? She really said this? Okay, this says
these are people who kill black people like they do it every day. I mean, it's like a daily thing.
Right.
Their body count of black people is a mile high.
Right.
But Black Lives Matter and the Bloods and Crips have more integrity than the president.
Let's read this article.
Oh.
Mad Maxine says she's met Crips and Bloods in the hood with more integrity than the president. It says Rep Maxine Waters made the stunning claim recently that she has met gangbangers from the inner city with more integrity than President Donald Trump. Why has she met gangbangers, by the way? Is she running with that crew?
I know it.
Really? Question? The congressman who has been ridiculed by the president for having a low IQ made the comment while appearing on Showtime's Desus and Mero. I have worked in some of the toughest communities. She said in a clip that was tweeted by a host on Thursday, I've worked with gangs, I've worked with Crips, I've worked with Bloods, and there's more integrity in many of these young people in the hood than this man has. She also claimed without providing any evidence that the street player, Mr. Trump, has flirted that the street player, Mr. Trump, has flirted with gangsters throughout his history as a businessman and politician. As has every, and I'm not saying that's true, but you're going to try to tell me that the senators and congressmen and politicians and mayors throughout especially the Democratic ones, haven't? You're going to tell me that they're not blatantly in bed with some of these people? This country cannot tolerate another 4 years of him. No, the left can't, and the establishment can't. And I'm putting all my hope and my eggs in this, in this basket that Trump really isn't trying to pull one over on us, and I don't believe he is. And I really hope we do see these indictments, or we do see some sort of a disruption to this bullshit, right? To all of this swamp he said he wanted to drain. If we go through another 4 years and none of that happens, I'm gonna feel let down. I am gonna feel pretty let down. But
let me prepare you, my friend.
Yeah.
Well, then
I've
why
learned.
though?
Why the hell? Why the hell won't that happen? And I know we're not Q, and I know this is going to offend some of the people that we're not completely on the QAnon train. But why the hell won't that? Why the hell isn't that going to happen?
I don't know, man. I think it's just these people are entrenched. You're talking about people who are entrenched in power going back who knows how long.
I know.
It's just not easy to dislodge that. And Trump, as good as a weapon he's been, he's still not really what we need. He's a weapon to use against them because he has certain traits that are useful against it.
Yeah.
But he's also got a lot of traits that are counterproductive. And so maybe he's not the one that we need. He is the one that has stepped forward. He's the one that we have. So we're going to back him
to the one we need. As I've been doing a lot of this deep state cabal type, research and looking into these things with the bankers and, everything, the establishment, it just makes me so angry. And it's just like, God, I want somebody to bring these people down and just to bring them down, I feel like that's a complete pipe dream because there is so much that it goes so deep that he'd get JFK'd before he could really like bring a Hillary down or bring a Kerry or an Obama or, the McCabe's or the Strauchs or all these people before he really brings them down. And I'll eat these words gladly. I'll gladly say I'm wrong if it happens. Dear God, I hope I'm wrong. But don't say you're going to do it and don't keep talking about it if you're not. That's I guess, my beef or my problem. But anyways,
you got to string them along. You got to string us along. And I have to say that we are a political group that has been strung along for a long time. So we are they know that we'll do it. Yeah. I guess we're easy targets, unfortunately.
Yeah. It says Waters was angered the populace within her party by suggesting that the big money she'd have more control over deciding who was the Democrat Party presidential nominee. You would have 2, 3, 4 at a time in Beverly Hills having dinners, she said last week. Some of our contributors who are very rich were holding, fancy parties, trying to accommodate the request of donations and contributions. And so, the thinking is that if we are supplying tremendous dollars to candidates, we ought to have more say. Wow, I can't believe she came out and we all know that's what happens, but she is so stupid. This Maxine Waters is dumber than a box of rocks, right? She is just an absolute idiot. And for her to come out and just vocalize that and say that right out there in the open for everyone to hear, that Hollyweird and these Pedowood, people over in Pedowood are having all these dinners with these Democrat politicians, and they're saying, listen, I'm going to give you these big fat checks, but you need to do what I say. I need to have more say in what's going on with the, kind of hilarious to me.
Yeah, I mean, just the what I'm bothered by with this whole episode with her is that obviously the whole thing was just meant to be an attack. It's a soundbite attack on Trump. But why would you try to sort of normalize the Bloods and Crips or minimize what they've done to attack Trump? Especially when these people, like I said earlier, are responsible for killing black people at higher rates than any other group in this country. And yet she'll get up there and she'll talk about, oh, they're the white threat and the racist Donald Trump. What has Donald Trump done against black people? Nothing. What has he said against them? Nothing. What have the Bloods and Crips done? They've actually murdered hundreds, thousands of black people. So that disgusts me.
I know. A lot have come to the conclusion that it should not simply be Iowa and New Hampshire, and certainly they're not reflective of the makeup of this country, she added. That's the flyover countries. They're not the makeup of this country. The left and the right co-star and these high populist liberal, they're the makeup of no, they actually are the makeup of this country.
Well, they're on TV.
Yeah, I know exactly. But the flyover countries are what make this country what it is. These left and right, coast turd farts are not at all. They're the ones who aren't the actual makeup of the country. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's
well, let me point out one thing, just geographically and strategically. If it ever came down to a fight, okay, if it ever came down to a conflict, these people aren't very bright. They live in this bubble where, like you were saying, they just think that they are the heart of the country.
Yeah.
And it's because they live in these bubbles. Well, guess what? If they really want to start some shit, if it ever came to that, look at it. Well, all we'll do strategically and geographically, it just push them right onto the oceans. I mean, we'll just push them all out.
Yeah.
So they're not very bright.
No, they're not. They're not bright at all. Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman boasted that they had everyone on videotape to a confidant. Did you hear about that? That's crazy.
No, I didn't hear that one.
Yeah, that's kind of crazy. Let's go over here to this article real quick. It says, wait till it opens. Report, Jeffrey Epstein's right-hand woman boasted that they had everyone on. Well, of course they did. Of course they did. And that's why Jeffrey Epstein, didn't kill himself. Of course they had everybody. That's how did he make his money? That he made his money, because it was blackmail. He was blackmailing major people.
He's some sort of blackmail genius.
Yeah, he was providing people with a bunch of this crazy young patang, right? These sick twisted Fs were doing crazy God knows what with these women, and then he was videotaping it, and then he was blackmailing the shit out of them, and he probably had all these kill switches set up to where they couldn't just take him out and killary him, because he's like, hey, if I wind up dead, all these things are gonna go loose. Which gotta kind of make you wonder that why didn't some of this stuff happen once he did end
They
up.
sewed him up. Sewed him up.
Yeah, that's the thing. They found
it's like an episode of 24 or something,
I think once he was in prison, then they had enough leverage to say, we need to find out where you have what you have, and then we'll get you off, or we'll do whatever. And then as soon as they got what they needed, and they could sew up the loose ends, they offed him. I mean, it's insanity.
Yeah, and I have to say, it's got to be one of the most obvious and transparent assassinations that's ever happened, because not only was everybody predicting it, everybody knew it was happened, and then it happened with all these like blatantly suspicious occurrences, like the camera not being on and the guards falling asleep, and yet they still got away with it. So it's like fuck you people. We'll do it right in your face, and you can't do shit.
How has Ghislaine Maxwell not been arrested yet, too? That's what I want to know. Do you think she's even alive? I wonder if she's even alive. I mean,
who knows?
But maybe she is alive, and maybe that is one of the loose ends that they haven't been able to tie up yet. And that's the one thing that's keeping her alive, is that she has some dead switches too on them or something. I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
But something's happening.
Yeah,
there
man.
that we're not being told.
It may as well be an alternate universe as far as we're concerned. I mean, it's so far out of our hands. I mean,
seriously, this is some serious insanity, man.
It's like when you talk about conspiracies, you know that a lot of some of these, at least some of them are real, because this is the real deal right here. That's right in front of our faces.
Everybody's face, man. And that's one of the things that bothers me about Barr, if I'm being honest, is like that he says, no, he killed himself. It's like, what the hell are you covering for?
I'm with you, man. I agree. That was the first thing that really got me starting to wonder about Barr when he said that. It's like, do you take us for idiots?
Yeah.
Like, really?
Right.
Oh, it was just a suicide, guys. Nothing to see here. Come on.
Nothing to see. Move on. No, Lolita Express.
That's what I mean, though. It's like, do they really? That's what makes me wonder about all of it. Is the whole thing just a power thing? Like, okay, you all know we're doing this. Well, fuck you, we're doing it.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know either. I'll just read this quote and then we'll get off this. It says, socialite Ghislaine Maxwell, best friend to deceased pedophile Jeffrey Epstein, was widely believed to be his accomplice, reportedly told a friend that Epstein and I have everyone on videotape. Christine Oxenberger, a distant relative of the British royals, has alleged that Maxwell confided to her intimate details about Epstein's child sex empire. She detailed her belief that Maxwell was a raving lunatic at the time, but eventually realized Her Highness and fantastical claims were very likely true. I remember it in 1997, never forget it. We were alone, pacing around her living room, hands on her hips, the defiance of a champion gladiator, and she said many things, all creepy, unorthodox, strange. I could not believe whatever she was saying was real, or Oxenberg said. I didn't have I didn't have it in me to ask anything additional, like she'd actually have the actual consent of those people she videotaped, or even who they were. I wish I would have asked at the time. I heard a lot of things, none of which had the ring of truth. In fact, I thought the woman was a raving lunatic, but I wasn't comfortable. I was keen to get away, and figured the less I asked, sooner I get out. She added, that was probably better for her to do, though, too. Don't ask too many questions in a scenario like that, otherwise you end up getting suicided too. I'd be like, okay, this is creepy and weird, and look at the time, I gotta go. I'd have been out of there too. It's
like a horror movie.
Yeah, seriously. Well, I don't know. I didn't have a ton of other things to talk about. I do. It's 6:20. I might take the wife and go get some dinner. I think we're dropping the interrupting daughter. She comes in. Sorry to interrupt. I know you're live streaming. You tell me not to interrupt, but I'm sorry. But where's the gas at? She's like, God dang it, man, really? Anyway, but no, I think we might end it. I don't know. Do you have anything else you were really going to talk about? No?
Yeah, I'm pretty much spent, I think.
Yeah. I got these little tiny spiders are in my man cave, like something happened.
Oh my God!
And I keep getting these little tiny, not like the ones that in Rational's town or place that can kill you, but they're just annoying.
Lay eggs in your face.
Yeah. But anyways, thank you everybody that you guys hung out for as long as you did. We had a really good showing and crowd. Again, before we leave, before you guys take out of here, go sign up on D Live. I'm gonna actually do a video showing people how to do it. It's super easy. And then also, I don't know if Tyler's still in here or not, or if I have any mods. Rational, could you put up the Discord for us real quick before we go? Thanks, guy. Thank you, Rational. We're going to get you in next week. Sweet. And before everybody leaves, I'm going to have Rational put up the Discord. Please join my Discord. And when you join mine, I will put up Dronetek's Discord in there so you can get on his Discord. And then we're going to do a video showing you guys how to sign up for D Live, too. Because D Live, I'm telling you, it's where it's
Come
at,
to D Live.
Come to D Live. Come over there. Sub up to us. Eventually, we're going to be trying to push all of our streams out to over there. We'll still be on YouTube and still use it. But YouTube is going to get rid of us. They're little by little getting rid of people. And so we want to push as many people over there as we can. So, So anyways. But it's been great hanging out with everybody tonight. Do you have any other words before we go, Dronetek?
No, I agree. Everybody should go to D Live. We're pretty free over there at the moment as it stands right now. So go over there. It's a lot of fun. They got a lot of features that YouTube doesn't have. Makes the streams a little bit more fun.
Yeah.
And we can be ourselves there. So definitely go over there, check us out.
Yeah,
and then, check me out on YouTube as well.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Check out Dronetek on UTech on YouTube, and then Rational or Tyler. I didn't know you guys were. I knew Rational was. Could you guys put up the D Live link too? Could you throw that in the chat for the people before we go? We still got our 18 or 20 people in here. Could you throw that up on the chat? There it is, right there, Dronetek. And well, Tyler threw up Dronetek's D-Live, and he's ahead of me right now, so I don't necessarily appreciate you putting that in there first because I want to catch back up with him. Could we put up SJG Perspectives D-Live in the chat for everybody?
Get him up there.
Get him up
over there.
Let's get up and get over there. That's going to be good.
There seems to be a lot of energy over there, and there seems to be a lot of talk and stuff. So this could be it. This could be the place.
Yeah. No, it is, dude. It's great. And it's cool because, you know, for us as content creators and doing this, it's a place where you guys can actually donate and give some, you know, love to us over there. Not that we're begging for it or anything like that, but here on YouTube, you have to reach a certain status before you can, for me, Dronetek can get super chats, but they can take it away in an instant. Over there, you can donate a penny or 10 cents or $1 or $10. You know, so it's good for you because you don't, and then we can give back to you too. Like we can distribute back to you guys. So it's just a really, really, really great platform. Say whatever you want to. You can, you know, do whatever. Oh, I had somebody say open the chest. Okay, let me open up my D-Live real quick for my D-Live people. I didn't have it open, but I will, and I'm going to open that chest. So 1 second here. I'm going to go to my channel while I'm still live with everybody. I got a few people on there right now. Hang on. Let me see here. But I will. Let me mute it so I'm not redoing. Okay. Here we go. All right, guys. So I don't know if I have enough in there. Distribute. I can't distribute that. So I don't know if I have enough lemons. I don't know if people have been donating enough to me to distribute. I only have 39 cents in my account. Distribute. So can I distribute those? Let me see. I think you got to have 50. Okay, no. We're going to distribute 8.4 lemons. In 26 seconds, that's going to distribute out. And there you go. So see, we got to give back over there, man. It was going to kind of be a drinking stream, but we just didn't really totally get into the drinking part of it tonight. But I'm going to wait for Rational to get back. But I really appreciate the love that we are, you know, getting and the support we're getting from you guys out there. For me, you know, we had about 20 on YouTube, and we had about 10 that stayed on. So Scarecrow, you got 2.9. Umpire Calls got 2. Leezy Peasy got 1.7, and the real Ford Nation got 1.6. So you guys don't spend that all in one place. Don't spend that all in one place. And we will, as that grows, I love to share it back, man. It's great to share it back. It's kind of a cool function over there. So we got to give back. It's just great. Anyways, trying to kill a little more time until Dronetek comes in. And while you guys do that, I'm going to call my wife. I'm just going to call her live here because I think she was going to take the kids. But I'm going to tell her I'm going to go with her because I could tell she's like, what, are you done yet? You're going to be done. So hang on. We're going to get Dronetek back in here before we say goodbye. Good night, Trusted Zern. Thank you for coming and hanging out. We appreciate it. That's right. He did. You did. He had to go to the bathroom. I'm calling the wife. Calling the wife. Stick with me, guys. Stick with me. Trying to tell her that, hey, babe, I'll go with you. He's going to drain his Nadler. Oh, man, she didn't answer. Maybe she already left me. Oh, there he is. Okay. I was just calling the wife. Before. I wanted you to be back before we said goodbye to everybody. But
sorry.
Did you stream on D-Live tonight, too?
No, I didn't.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't figure out a way to do it right.
We'll have to figure that out.
If it was just you and me like this, I could have done it.
Yeah. I will, okay, hang on a second, guys. I'll just text her. She's not answering. Let me just text her. I'll go with her.
I need to do a stream on D-Live. I'm going to lose all my peeps.
Oh, no, you won't. They're so good,
I haven't done
man.
anything.
I will go.
My focus has not been streams up until recently. Since I've been working with you guys and American Joe and all them, I haven't really ever, thought about live streams that much.
Well, and I'm just gonna put this out here. I know you always feel like you're not you're not as good live, dude. You do a great job on the live shows, man. Give a hand clap, everyone out there. If you believe that Dronetek adds a lot to these live streams and is great at it, come on, give me a thumbs up, give a smiley face, give a number 1 in the chat, do something, man. We need to give Ryan a little love here.
If I'm on with you guys, it's like I feel way more jovial and like looser. when I'm on with American Joe and those guys, I don't know if it's I don't know them as well, or it's that their audiences are way bigger, but I just like lock up. I just freeze up. I don't know.
No, I don't think. Why is my phone not sending? It's like I really Androids, dude, they drive me crazy. I don't know. Maybe it's.
Oh, I love me some Android. It's like I'll never be a Mac person for anything.
Okay. Let's just say, hey, call me. There we go. Because I just don't want her to. But it's not.
Are we still live?
Yeah, we're still live. I'm just sharing my life with them.
Hey,
and,
guys.
And no one's left yet. We're just talking and just
hey guys.
So hey, before we get off, I might do it later tonight too for whoever's around. But I'm going to start doing some live streams where I write some of my music for my lyric stuff. I was going to share a couple of those with you guys because I closed it down, but I'm going to go here to Drive. Google Drive. I need to get a better shortcut. It took me straight there this time. Huh, who knew? Okay. I wanted to read you guys this lyrics I came up with last night. They were pretty good. Hang on a second. Here we go. Yeah. Okay. Here we go.
Some YouTube lemons for you.
I know.
That's good. I like it.
That is funny.
Nice job, Tyler.
So the Addicted to Dumb's gonna go. The lights are on, but no one's home. Your thoughts are not your own. Your mouth moves and words come out like a IQ is what it shouts. You don't think, don't before you speak. There's no doubt your brain has got a leak. The Green New Deal is so absurd. You say the problem is all those cow turds. You'd like to think that you're all smart and stuff. Oh yeah, don't bam. But it's closer to the truth. You're taking puffs. You're gonna have to face it. You're addicted to dumb. So that's that one, which I think will be a good one. Yes.
Oh,
no?
dude, that's gonna be up there with CNN Lies, I think. Seriously.
And then I have my Sanctuary City, which that one's the Tom Petty one. Here's. Okay, see you in a minute. All right. Well, I'll do the Sanctuary Lies later. She's about ready to leave, so I'm going to go with her. But anyways, thank you, everybody, you guys, for hanging out with us tonight. That was great. And we will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to subscribe. And everybody, I appreciate it. You guys have a great rest of your
I do want to give a shout out to Tyrone Biggums.
All right.
He'll join us some night. He's my leftist friend. He'll join us some night. I'll get him.
Cool. All right, guys. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you later. It's SJG Perspective and Dronetek. Take it easy, guys. Later. Bye.